the computer. Cool. Well, cool, man. So number one, you're finally getting after it. I've seen that you're finally starting to get your proposals in.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you've had all the feedback from what I've been going on.
Yeah.
What are the biggest questions so far, or maybe the biggest hurdles that you're facing?
So I guess really it's self-awareness. So you pointed out a few things in my proposal that I wasn't aware of, or maybe it's also a little bit of laziness, and maybe this will help because it's something that will hold me accountable to stepping up to the next level.
Okay.
Because like I know I should be showing figures and showing past results, but sometimes it takes for someone to point it out to you and say, hey dude, you need to do this. Do you know what I mean? So
Yep.
it's really, I guess, a combination of those few things.
So let's talk about those few things in particular, right? So number one, it seems like the biggest thing. What do you think so far is the biggest thing that you need to be pointing out in every proposal?
uh, Past results.
Past results, but more importantly, starting out number one, you need to develop your elevator pitch for every single proposal you're having. I
Mm-hmm.
cannot emphasize this enough. Like I seriously cannot emphasize this enough. So this is what separates pretty much. I think that the best way to think about this is freelancing as a whole. If we look at freelancing as a whole, everybody that's doing it,
Mm-hmm.
it's ultimately a race to the bottom for 99% of people. And what I mean by that is, so think about it this way, right? You charging $50 an hour on your profile, right? How can you up that to charging 75 to 125? Now, those are kind of arbitrary numbers that we're just saying out there, but to be able to go from covering your bills to actually thriving, we
Mm-hmm.
have to be able to make those gaps in charging more.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the vast majority of freelancers, what do they use to differentiate themselves from other individuals? Price. And if you use pricing to differentiate yourself from other individuals, you're not going to succeed. And it's a race to the bottom to see who can charge the least. And so this kind of ties into the importance of that elevator pitch, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you have a clear elevator pitch that you could say confidently, just out the gate immediately, it will completely change the way that people perceive you. And it makes a world of a difference. So last year, I was a director of lead generation for a company called the Author Incubator. When I started working for them, we were doing about 5.3 million in annual revenue. And in 2 years, we went from 5.3 million annual revenue to 19.7. And we were selling a $15,000 program. Here's the catch. 50% of all the people that bought that $15,000 program converted to a $50,000 back-end program. The average customer value is $32,000, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you get somebody to commit to those massive changes, right? Number one, you have a clear vision of what you do and who you help and what your expertise is. So for them, their clear vision was we help nonfiction authors write transformational books that bring, I think it was hope, healing, and transformation to the world. It was something like that. And so they didn't help, like they weren't interested in helping the marketers or the people like that. They were helping what they called the healers and people along those lines that wanted to change the world in a sense, right? So when it comes to you, right, it doesn't matter if you haven't worked with a lawyer before. It doesn't. That means nothing. It doesn't matter if you haven't worked with a personal trainer before. What matters is that you have an eye and you have a specialty for lead generation for website design, right? So, hey, like my specialty, and you obviously have the marketing skills in the back end. So you have a back end offer as well. So, hey, what I want to do for you is obviously I'm going to help you make a website. I'm going to create a website for you that's going to convert traffic incredibly. It's going to get you converting X amount of traffic. And one thing you could probably do really well is do a breakdown of like, listen, because most of the time people are looking for a website design. They're kind of like, they're starting from the lowest of the low in terms of understanding marketing and things along those lines. So if you say, listen, Okay. Just to give you a glimpse of how much money you're going to make with my website design. Let's say your average customer is worth $500, right? And if
Mm.
I can get 1,000 people to your site and we convert 20% of those to leads and you close 3.5% of those leads, it ends up being this much money, right? So your $2,000 to $5,000 website isn't looking like it's costing that much more anymore
Mm.
when they can consistently convert that. Now, your backend offers where you start actually generating money for your business. Backend offer is AdWords,
Mm.
search terms, like things like that, right?
Mm.
So here's the biggest thing, right? So not only am I going to help you get a website, the second factor is, well, I'm going to help you get a website and then get traffic and eyes on your website for people looking for particular things.
Mm.
So a lawyer, they might be a specialist in corporate law, whatever it is. I've seen suits, so that's the closest thing I know about law. Um, so you got to get a lot more particular.
Yeah.
And in your Loom videos, I want to hear confidence, right?
Mm.
You don't want to come off as a douchebag, but you need to have some sort of a swagger with you
Yeah.
because they need to know that they could trust their business with you. And the one thing we have to know about the people on Upwork, I've closed multiple people on $3,500 retainers off of Upwork, right? With that being said, they're kind of out of every 10 clients you'll close, you'll get the high end client, right?
Mm.
You're not going to find those for the most part, right? What you're going to find are the people to where you'll be able to close them on maybe 3,500 for a one-time deal, or you'll get them on lower tier packages. But they're
Mm.
the people that are in the lower tier packages, what's going to close them is your confidence,
Mm.
because they're going to be super like held back about wanting to spend money,
Yeah.
right? That's how it's going to be. That's how all of them are. So if you're coming over here and you're saying, yeah, well, obviously I haven't worked with a lawyer before, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Like that's it. Because they're going to be like, fuck this. I'm not giving this guy my money. Like, why would I do this? This doesn't make any sense. So what you're going to say is, hey, my name is, what's your name? Michael Thomas. Okay, cool. Hi, my name is Michael Thomas, and my specialty is designing websites that generate leads for your business. Now, what I want to do is actually explain to you what that means. So I'm going to come over here to this calculator, right? So let's say you're getting 1,000 clicks per day on your website,
Mm.
right? And let's say that I help you convert 20% of those individuals into leads. Now, let's
Mm.
say you actually have a sales process, and let's say you're closing on average about 3.5% of those leads, which is the industry standard. Now, just think to yourself what each of those customers is going to be worth. Now, if you're a lawyer, odds are, depending on what it is, that could range from $5,000 to $20,000, right? So you're looking at potentially closing God knows how much more customers every single month. And
Yeah.
so, and
Yeah.
the fact that you're laughing, like that smile, it shows that you're starting to really glimpse this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you're coming off in the confidence part, and that confidence part is what catches their emotion. When you start talking about numbers, that's the logical part, but you need to get them to be able to trust you. And
Right.
that's where that confidence factor comes in. And so when they
Yeah.
sat, because they're going to sit there and this is what they're going to do. They're going to say, you said the website's going to cost 5,000, that seems like a lot of money. These other guys are saying that they'll do it for 500 or $750. I don't know about this. And then
Mm.
you usually have like two different ways, and this is going to be recorded, so you can come back and listen to this. There's like two ways you can go about that, right? So number one, you can say, listen, $5,000 is what I charge because you're working with a specialist, right? If you had to get neurosurgery done, you wouldn't want your general physician to do it, right? You'd want a neurosurgeon with expertise in that one thing. This is my expertise. This is my specialty. But
Mm.
if you're willing to commit today, I'll do one thing for you. I'll do it $3K right now. It'll be taken today, and I can send you an invoice for it right now. That's only if you're willing and you're comfortable with doing it now. And if you're on the fence, it's completely fine. I won't pressure you on it. But that's what it takes to get a seat at the table to work with me. By the way, that's how I invoice everybody. Like, what you should do, get like 5K in earnings done on Upwork. Then after that, I just invoice everybody. It takes so much time to get your payouts from Upwork. It's a miserable
Right.
process. Yeah. So I literally will just send invoices from PayPal and Stripe. Problem solved.
Right.
But man, that's all it is. That's all, like just out the gate from you. That's all I'm hearing. I don't want to hear about your partner. I don't want to hear
Mm.
about your past connections because it's completely irrelevant.
Yeah.
What you need to be talking to them is, hey, depending on what you think the intelligence of those individuals might be, talk about the industry standards. Like talk about your specialty. What matters at the end of the day is giving them a website that will convert. And this
Hmm.
comes back to a prospect of the purpose of this program. It's a lot of it is sales education, right?
Mm.
So this comes back to a concept called the challenger sell. These people are coming to you not as experts whatsoever. Upwork doesn't consist of individuals who are experts looking for stuff. Like
Mm.
they're solopreneurs or small business owners, generally
Mm.
doing less than a million annually. In the grand scheme of things, exactly, that's not a lot of money. Um, and so what they're looking to you is they're looking for someone that's a specialist. So when you're telling them what their conversion rates need to look like, you're asking them interesting questions that no other freelancers are
Mm.
asking. Those are the things that position you as an expert,
Mm.
right? And so carry yourself like that. And the one thing I did not see in your proposal was a link for them to schedule a call. Get
Yeah.
that in your proposal. So have you gone through the program and looked at the proposal templates yet?
Um, I've been through the first module.
Got it.
I just started the second
That
module.
that's okay.
I want to do it
So
properly though, so I'm going to do the elevator pitch and the other PDF. I'm going to fill it in before moving forwards.
perfect. So definitely, I forgot which part of the program has it, but you definitely want to watch immediately. I have 4 or 5 templates of proposals that you could use. I have one proposal specifically you could use if you feel like you keep struggling and you just need the confidence of not having a full profile. One of the things I did is it's one of the first proposals I used to close people out the gate.
Mm.
Um, I actually have a client that's still with me to this day that I use that proposal on. And it's pretty much it's called like the I'm new here proposal. And essentially what you're saying is like, listen, I'm new here. I've been doing web development forever. I'm new here on Upwork. So what I'd like to do as I build my portfolio, I usually charge $75 an hour. For a limited time, I'll give you a 10% discount off my
Yeah,
hourly rate.
cool.
Cool.
I like that. So
So
yeah, you mentioned the Challenger. That's a book that has been mentioned before, so I'll make sure I get that.
amazing book. And the
Yeah.
best part about that book is it's a book that one of my problems with a lot of sales books is a lot of it's based off anecdotal experience, like individual experiences, which is great. But for us to be able to say what works best, we need to be able to look at actual data. So, like, for example, if we relied on medical professionals for their anecdotal experience, that'd be terrible. We need to be
Mm.
able to rely on like a scientific method to go through things. That's what they did. They used an actual scientific method to look at all of the individuals across I think it's hundreds of thousands of sales professionals and what worked best.
Yeah, I heard that.
So that's the thing. What I want
Mm.
to hear from you in these proposals as you go on, and you're not going to get it immediately. Okay. You're looking at I have a lot more confidence coming at this because I've been doing it for so long. This is all I do now, right? Like I've been forced to have to get this confidence, or else I wouldn't be able to eat, right? And I purposely had kids at a young age. I put a lot of pressure on myself to have like these things worked out. So
Yeah.
the same thing for you. What I want you to do, and it's going to be incredibly nerve-wracking, and you're not going to want to do it, and you're going to feel self-conscious about it. Keep working at it. Put those proposals in this channel so I can provide feedback for you.
Mm.
And you're going to think numerous times, I'm not getting this right. I can't do it. It doesn't matter. Submit it so I can see what you're doing because I want to help you. And I can't help you if you're not giving me something to work off of.
Mm.
So keep doing it. And that's kind of comes back to the point of submitting your 10 proposals a day. Sounds like a lot, really isn't. If you're guaranteed, depending on where your business is already, if you're submitting 10 to 20 proposals a day, right? Guaranteed you will close at least 2 to 5 new clients a month. Like I have Connor right here. He's my personal content marketer. He has the proof of like, I think, how many episodes do we have in the daily vlog when I was going through Upwork? Probably like the first couple episodes. Yeah, whenever we had it on there, and it literally like one day I just submitted 5 proposals, And I think I closed 2 clients just that one day. Like I'm at a point in my business to where if I went to Upwork and I was doing 10 to 20 proposals a day, like I can't do it anymore because I don't have the capacity.
Mm.
Like I don't have the capacity. So the next step of this is that the next big conversations once we start having is like, okay, how do you kind of create a scalable business with Upwork?
Mm.
Like you have to start templatizing things and things along those lines.
Yeah.
Um, but that's what it comes down to, right? So get your reps in.
Yeah.
Submit the proposals to me that you think are doing good, anything along those lines, and I'll give you the feedback on it because I want to see you
Yeah.
succeed. There's no reason you can't be doing an additional 10 to 20K a month off Upwork. And I
Mm.
mean that in such seriousness. Before I left my job at the author incubator, my side business was doing around $12,000 to $16,000 a month, just off Upwork, nothing else,
Right.
right? Just Upwork. And I still didn't really know what I was doing, but that's the benefit of having a retainer, right? Like I had the
Yeah.
ability to go out, get stuff. And this kind of comes in the next factor. There's going to be an odd churn rate. If you have anything, you might experience this a little bit more on the marketing side, like with paid traffic. People will usually last for about 3 to 6 months, right?
Mm.
It there's a lot of underlying variables behind that. Their liquid, like the amount of cash flow they have, how good they are at creating offers, things along those lines. That's
Mhm.
why I'm not gonna lie, having a clear deliverable is pretty great, right? A deliverable being you deliver something, service done.
Yeah.
Whenever you
Yeah.
have ongoing stuff, that's the pain in the ass. Like that's what you have to worry about. Like that is going
Yeah.
to be a pain in the ass. That's something you have to really
Yeah.
consider.
Wow. You gave me so much there. I'll definitely need to watch this again
Yeah.
and watch the other videos as
Hmm.
well again. Um, but yeah, thanks for letting me know what's to come potentially in
Oh,
regards to scaling, because that's really a gray area right now. But yeah, I feel like I know what I need to do. One thing is I'm just completing a 6K project.
oh, sweet.
Yeah, once that's complete, then definitely I'm going to commit to at least 2 hours a day on Upwork.
It's actually a pretty solid amount. That's good.
Yeah, at least minimum
Good.
2 hours. So,
And I think what you're going to find, this is going to be interesting for you, right? Shopify, this is something to keep in mind.
mm,
This is actually, because you're going to be watching this, other people will be watching this. One of the easiest ways to get predictable revenue every single month on a retainer basis, right? This is the secret no one talks about. White label services. You don't get paid near as much. You don't. It kind of sucks. With
mm,
that being said, if you're looking for easy and consistent services to where you don't have to manage clients, like this is just stuff to where like you have your stuff to where like you make consistent like higher money. White label services are an amazing way, especially for marketing agencies, to want to use you. Marketing agencies are 24/7 on Upwork trying to find people that they could bring on to white label. And the reason why they're saying that, they don't have the money to hire actual employees to
mm,
bring on, right? So what they'll do is, for example, I'm sure that there's tons of marketing agencies that need WordPress developers. Actually, a ton of
mm,
people need WordPress developers and Shopify developers for e-com stores. Both of those, you'll get crazy work. And all you have to do, literally, the conversation with them is, hey, I will help increase your conversion rate from X to X, because they've already taken care of the client side. All they're looking for is someone who could increase performance essentially and take it off their plate. So if they can know that you're taking it off their plate and you'll help increase conversion rates and things along those lines,
mm.
easy sells.
Right.
Literally the easiest sell you could possibly do. And I don't know what so pricing structure wise, what I did for when I did white label for agencies, I charged $750 to $1250 an account to white label. And whenever I was able to charge, whenever I was charging $1250 for whenever I did it, it was because I was also helping with client comms. So that's something you really need to consider if you do go the white labeling route, making sure that you have a clear understanding of who handles client comms. I wouldn't want to touch client comms. It's a nightmare. You
Mm,
When you white label and you deal with client comms, you have to worry about like them like uncomfortably kind of not trusting you because they think that you might steal their client.
Mm,
There's weird stuff like that. But that is a super easy way to get a ton of consistent recurring work. So
mhm,
just a fun thing to keep in the back of your mind.
mhm. Thank you.
So take this, what you just listened to. I just downloaded a ton of stuff on you. I'm going
Yeah.
to repeat a lot of this stuff, which is no problem. What I'd suggest is sometimes just play it in the background, like doing dishes or any cooking. Just play this stuff in the background, just play it back, and you're going to get more and more ideas off of it.
Mhm. Yeah, man. Thanks, man. I really appreciate this.
No problem. Anytime and anything I can do
Just
to help.
what
For sure. All right. Well, I'll talk to you here soon, Michael, and
I
I'll
need.
see you
Nice
here soon. Bye.
one.